I was gonna make a video today. I was going to show you how I make zug sauce, which is a Jewish Yemeni sauce that probably is more common in Israel now. Also talk a little bit about the history. But my husband, his car's not working, so he's using my car, and guess what's inside my car? My tripod. So I can't do one of those videos. I can do a selfie video though. I'm not gonna make the Yemeni sauce because I want to do that tomorrow. I'm actually changing the way that I do videos where I'm savoring her story, where I talk about my subject, the women I'm doing, I'm biographing, the women I'm doing a biography of. But I'm going to be more casual, just like kind of talk about it while I cook, just like more, casual. But that means I need to know my subject really well. No script. It just means me talking about her. And that's daunting. Today, I have a craving for big fat noodles, and because I don't do gluten very well, I don't do wheat very well, we're doing the drunken noodles. I got here, I'll show you. These are my drunken noodles. 2 pounds of Beyond Beef from my Lucille Ball video where I make her goulash. I don't really make her goulash because that's a pretty terrible recipe. I make it better. But I don't really need 2 pounds of Beyond Meat. We could do it. We can half that recipe. And I thought, well, I've got like ginger and garlic and jalapenos. I can caramelize some cabbage. Like, I'm just thinking. I have an heirloom tomato. Like, I think I can make this really good. So let's try. The first thing I need to do is clean my camera. So I'm going to caramelize. So I don't have a tripod, so I can't show you me chopping it up. So I'm just going to chop it up. I'm going to kind of shred it, and then we're going to caramelize it. Oh, you know you're being silly. I think this is enough. I still have like half a cabbage left. Now I'm going to chop this up because we're going to caramelize it all together. See, I just kind of chop them very chaotically. That's okay. I think I added about a half a cup. And you're wondering, why are we adding water to caramelized cabbage? That's because we're just gonna soften them first. Okay, I'm putting you in a cup. Please stay. Oh, look at that. That's oil. Probably about 3 or 4 tablespoons. Turn it on. Cover it. About medium. Check it in about 6 minutes. Cutting up some ginger, carrots. I don't have carrots. Carrots would be really good at this. I'm gonna throw in a jalapeno. De-seeding it. I'm just cutting it this way and chopping it. We're gonna keep the seeds for the heat and the texture. We do want to cut up the jalapenos really well because we don't want anybody getting a big bite of jalapeno at one time. It would be hot. Garlic. We're gonna do about 3 or 4 cloves. Okay, garlic. You can't see what I'm doing, but I'm just smashing. I'm just smashing it. I'm just. Just smashing that patriarchy. I mean garlic. Smash that patriarchy. Let's do it again. Yes. Smashed little garlic. We gotta chop it all up, and we just put it all together with this. We have got a massacre of flavor. It's beautiful. I have an announcement. I'm gonna be doing a monthly newsletter over on Substack. It's Saving Her Story, the Salon, and I'm going to be putting all my recipes there, and like my biography timelines and any documents that might go with the story that I tell. It's also a place where we can chat and just keep in touch. And it will be once a month. And I don't know what else is going to be there. Other fun stuff. If you recommend anything, that would be great. But I'll put the link down in the description box below. And I hope to see you there. Okay, let's check our cabbage. Softened. That's what we want. Throw some salt in there. I'm gonna keep it pretty high, medium high. This is cast iron, so I might lower it because cast iron really conducts heat. I'm just going to kind of bat it down so that we get as much surface contact, or not surface, but as much contact with the pan as possible so it browns. And we're just gonna let it be this way for about 6 minutes. And then we'll check it to see if it's browned. And then we'll move it around and let it brown again, and then move it around and let it brown again. And each time that we do that, we need to wait less and less time. So it's like 6 minutes, and then the next time will be like 5 minutes. And then when it starts to get pretty brown, we're only leaving it we're only leaving the cabbage in contact with the heat source for maybe 30 seconds. So yeah, we're doing the cabbage separately from the meat at first. And the ginger and the garlic and the jalapeno is actually going to be cook in the meat sauce. And I'm going to add a bell pepper because I have a bell pepper. It sounds good. So once we get this chopped up, then we can saute our veggies. I just cut it chunky. Normally I saute the garlic after I saute the onion and the jalapeno and stuff, but you know what, I'm just throwing it all together this time. We're not going for any Michelin stars. Okay, let's see how it's doing here. It's browning. Oh, we still have water. We have to get rid of this water before it will brown. Beyond beef. Some salt, more salt for our meat mixture. Pepper. Cut up this tomato, skin and all, seeds and all. I'm putting it in the meat mixture. Roughly. Throw it in there. I was gonna do zucchini, but I think you got enough stuff. Put a little water in here because I don't want, just to help cook down the tomato. Oh, browning the pan. That's brown. Okay, that's good. A little bit. Yeah, typically I do videos about women. Like I've done Lucretia Mott, who was a suffragette, and Fannie Lou Hamer, who was a wonderful civil rights activist. I learned so much from doing her video. Dolores Huerta, who worked with Cesar Chavez to do the Farm Workers Guild. I can't remember, but she helped immigrant workers with their rights. And she also is a great feminist. But yeah, I did the Bloodroot Collective. 2 women who created a collective of just like a feminist space. Not everything's feminist. I just like to do videos about women who became the change that they wanted to see. So coming up next, I'm doing Lucille Ball. I'm doing Theodora from the Byzantine Empire. That's going to be so fun. I have a feast planned for that one. And I'm turning the temperature down. I'm doing Simone Weil. That is a guilty pleasure. She's a Christian mystic, philosopher. And that one I'm going to be doing a what I eat in a day because she was actually really ascetic. She didn't really eat much. She was very, very devout. Well, very, like She just lived a very humble way. A very humble way. So we're gonna eat very humbly. But with Theodora, we're gonna be eating like an empress. Not like perfect caramelization, but it's good. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing my niece. I'm going on a family vacation. And my niece, she quit her teaching job to become an artist. And so I think that her story is very inspirational. I think we're gonna be making donuts. Everything is vegetarian. I try to do vegan. We don't always do vegan, but everything's vegetarian. And if the traditional, and I didn't mention, I match the food to my protagonist, to the person I'm biographing. So with Fannie Lou Hamer, which that video is up right now, I made a Creole. I made a grits party. I did like a whole grits party with sauces and just different, like andouille sauce, andouille sausage spice, Beyond Meat, like just a whole thing. But I showed you how I made groundnut stew and a Creole sauce for grits. And all of that is actually on my Substack. So I'll leave a link to that specific Substack so you can go to it. With Lucille Ball, I'm making her goulash, but I'm making it better because hers is really bad. You should see this recipe. I'm also making panna cotta because I'm just doing kind of like mid-century, but trying to make it better because you know, back then they did like gelatin desserts. I don't want to do the gelatin desserts, but I got agar, which is a vegan gelatin, and I'm making a panna cotta, so we're making it a little classier. And of course with Theodora, she's from the 6th century Byzantine Empire, so we're going to be doing medieval times Byzantine food, which is kind of like a mezza platter, kind of like things that are like predating baba ganoush. I mean, to be honest, I got the recipe. I don't know how it's different from baba ganoush, but it wasn't called baba ganoush. Yeah, really delicious stuff like that. This is good enough. This is just good enough. I'm going to mix this with this. And now I'm going to figure out what else I want to add to it. It tastes pretty good. Miso paste. I have red miso paste. I just want to kind of bring out the flavor before we toss it with wide rice noodles, you know, like drunken noodles. So I'm using red miso because that's what we have. About that much of it. What does it need? A little rice vinegar. If I had black, mature rice vinegar, I would use that. That would be great. Just a splash. My husband doesn't like vinegar, but I think it will kind of liven up the flavor. I would have used more tomatoes if I had more tomatoes. So to get that acidity, I'm just adding a little vinegar. A little tamari. We're throwing in a smidgen of maple syrup because, you know, like the vinegar and the maple syrup, we're balancing the flavors. So just a little bit. Just maybe that much. We don't want it to be sweet. We just want the flavors to be well-rounded, you know? That's really good. That little bit was enough. Now we're gonna put in some sesame oil. Shoot. Those are really good. You can still use a little tang. This will also add heat and a little sweetness. About a tablespoon. Perfection. What we're kind of doing today is kind of a fusion, a little inspired by Singapore street noodles with kind of the Asian and curry thing. And then also drunken noodles, and just kind of like, almost like a spaghetti sauce, even almost like a goulash, like a fusion goulash situation. And I am gonna do a slurry of a slurry of cornstarch. Throw it in there, add some water. I just want it saucy. I want it sticking to the noodles. I want to cook it long enough to where the cornstarch flavor goes away. See how it's like now a gravy? Just water, just let the water come in with it. So good. Wow. My husband's helping me.
Not very good at this.
You don't get any, you get chopsticks.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Ooh, it's very hot. Oh, it smells so good. Mmm. Mmm. You're gonna love this.
Good.
All right, let's eat.